have our tradition coupler back end handpiece here. The burr has already been removed in the operatory, and we've purged the water through the handpiece on the unit hose for a minimum of 30 seconds, just to purge any of that water out from the procedure. We're going to start doing the washing part of the process now, and we're going to use our Midwest Plus handpiece cleaner, and we're going to go ahead and spray this on the outside of the handpiece. Use a soft sponge or a cloth, scrub the outside here, make sure there's getting any external debris off of there. If you have the fiber optic version, we want to make sure we get the little window clean here where the fiber optic light comes out. If you have the non-fiber optic version, you don't need to worry about that. Then we're just going to run this underwater, rinse any of that off. We want to make sure we do not spray, wipe, or soak this handpiece with any disinfectants, alcohol, or chemicals. Just plain water and our Midwest cleaner, and then we can take a paper towel, dry this off, and it's ready for the next step in the process. We have our tradition coupler back end handpiece here, and it's already gone through the washing portion of the process, so it's all cleaned up and we're ready to do the lubrication and expelling of the handpiece. So the first thing we want to talk about is the chuck maintenance. So the chuck maintenance is something that you want to do once a week. And what we're going to do is put some oil right in that burr tube where you normally insert the burr. We can do this with our little bottle of dropper oil and go ahead and put a couple drops of oil in there and go ahead and work that button. That's going to make that button work freer and the chuck mechanism freer, so if you're having problems changing the burrs or the button's hard to push, this chuck maintenance is going to help lubricate that function and make it easier to do. The other way that you can do this is use our Midwest Plus spray. This can of spray comes with the cap, and the nozzle that comes with it has a little point on the end of it, and that little point will go right into the burr tube. So if we remove this cover here, hold this up to our burr tube, and we can do a quick spray there. And that's going to spray cleaner and lubricant into that chuck mechanism. Again, you can work that button a little bit. Go ahead and wipe the excess oil off there with a paper towel. So that's the chuck maintenance. That's done once a week. You don't need to do that after every use. We're going to talk about the maintenance for that, but on a weekly maintenance basis, we want to do that chuck maintenance. When we're talking about weekly maintenance, we want to remember to go back to the operatory, and you want to lubricate these O-rings on the coupler that's on the end of your hose. Again, you can do this with the dropper oil, and just put one drop of lubricant on each of those O-rings, and usually just smear it around so it covers all those O-rings on there. If you do that once a week, that's going to make the O-rings last longer. You're snapping hand pieces on and off of there, and they get dried out, so this will keep them lubricated and make the O-rings last longer. And they're important for the handpiece to seal on there. So after every use, you want to lubricate and expel this handpiece. We're going to do that by first spraying some oil in the back end. So since this is a coupler back end, when we received this handpiece, it would have had this plug in the back end. This is a K-style, so it came with a K-style nozzle. That's for your manual maintenance. If you had a Sorona back end, it would have the right plug for Sorona. So they're all different nozzles depending on what coupler back end they have. And then you're going to take your can of Midwest Plus spray. It's already going to have the cap on it, and then this black nozzle goes right over the existing nozzle. You can just push and twist right on there. So now we can connect our handpiece onto there, and we're going to do a 1 to 2 second burst. We're going to take a paper towel, hold it over the head of the handpiece because we're going to get some cleaner and lubricant out of there. So like I said, a 1 to 2 second burst. Usually tell people by the time you press the button the whole way down, you can just go ahead and let it go. That's usually long enough. Go ahead and pull this off. And then we want to take a look at where this sprayed onto the towel. You can see we just got plain cleaner and lubricant, some oil there. But if you saw any debris, any black stuff came out of the handpiece, you'd want to go ahead and spray it a second time into another spot on the towel. Just make sure we're not getting any more debris out. So now we need to expel the handpiece. We've put that lubricant and cleaner in there. To expel it, since these machines just accept the 4-hole back end, both of these machines, we need to put a maintenance adapter into the back of the handpiece, and then that gives us the right connection here to work with these machines. This is a Midwest Air Station. It's been discontinued, but there's still a lot of them out there, so you might have a machine like this, or this is another machine that does the same thing from another manufacturer. So basically you just hold the handpiece on top of there and push down on it. We want to do this expelling for at least 30 seconds. We're going to hold a paper towel over the head and then push down, and that's going to blow air up through. And what it's going to do is blow out any of the excess oil and cleaner. And what you can do with this towel is just keep wiping the head off, move to a clean spot on the towel. I'm going to do this for at least 30 seconds, but once you can wipe with this towel and tell that you're not getting any more oil or cleaner coming out of there, you know you're good, because you just want to leave a film or a coating of oil inside, all the excess oil, cleaner, and debris out. We don't want any of that coming out during the next procedure. So once this is coming away nice and dry, we know we're done. And go ahead and pop our maintenance adapter out of the back end. And now this handpiece, we're going to take another dry paper towel. Just want to make sure there's no excess oil on the outside of the handpiece. Make sure it's all dried off. We would be ready to go ahead and put this in the sterilization pouch and process it through sterilization, and always refer to the individual product instructions for use for specific sterilization instructions.